My dear friends, our gospel text is from Luke chapter 19, from verse 1 to 10. And it recounts the story of Zaccheus and his encounter with Jesus. The theme is Zaccheus. Today salvation has come to your house. My goal is to explain the impediments of Zaccheus and how the encounter with Jesus changed the narrative. The passage makes it clear that as Jesus was in Jericho, Zaccheus wanted to see Jesus, but because of the crowd, he could not see him, for he was short in stature. Zaccheus is described as a chief tax collector and also a wealthy man. It's important to mention that being a chief tax collector in Jericho, which is a border town, is something big. No wonder he's described as a wealthy man. There are three barriers to the desire to see Jesus. The first is his stature. As the passage says, he was short. As the crowd was around Jesus, he could not see him because of his height. The second reason was a social barrier. Being a rich man and also a Jew, one would have expected that he would enjoy some respect and love from the people. In Luke chapter 7, from verse 1 to 10, we read about the healing of the slave of the centurion. And this was after the Jewish elders had petitioned Jesus on behalf of the centurion. And their reason was because he had built a synagogue for them. The centurion enjoyed respect from the community. But this was not the case with Zaccheus. He was not kind to the community. He did not care for the poor. He was selfish, hence the social barrier. The third impediment is religious. Tax collectors were not allowed entry into the temple. They were considered as public sinners due to their collaboration with the Romans, making them traitors. My dear friends, in spite of these impediments, Zaccheus was still determined to see Jesus. The passage says he ran ahead of the crowd and climbed a sycamore tree. The point here is that where there is a will, there is always a way. Imagine a high-profile person running the full glare of the public. Because he had to see Jesus, he puts away the shame and runs ahead of the crowd and also climbs a tree. What an effort. No wonder the text says when Jesus got to the place he was, he stopped and looked up and said to him, Zaccheus, come down quickly, for today I must stay in your house. My dear friends, Jesus acknowledges efforts. The efforts we make will never be in vain. Can we imagine what may be happening to Zaccheus upon hearing that Jesus will stay in his house? The text says he came down quickly and received Jesus with joy. Now the question is, what happens after seeing Jesus? The text says Zaccheus gave half of his possessions to the poor, ready to share with the people he had neglected earlier. And for those he had defrauded, he paid back 4 times over just to right the wrong. My dear friends, the point is that whenever we see Jesus, charity to the poor and penance or restitution for what we do wrong must be our story. May God bless you all. Amen.